you're glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send the blood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Words wanna cut me down. I'm gonna send the blood, gonna drown them out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come.
Look out, y'all. She's back.
And I'm marching up to the beat
I make no apologies.
This is me.
Yes, she's back. She's back. Happy New Year. To those of you who have been wondering, where in the world is Pay Pro V Publishing? She's been mighty quiet. She's back. And this is the kickoff to So What's Your Story? I am so excited. I missed you guys. I have missed you guys. First of all, I want to say thank you so much to Kevin Vaughn, my buddy. I have missed you tremendously. And I want to say hello to some special guests that I have. And first of all, I want to shout out. So if you guys see the man sitting to my right up in the corner, that's my dad. And so I'm so excited that he's here because he is super, super busy. And for him to make some time for little old me, I am just so honored. So, hey, Dad.
You can lay off the flattery, okay?
He says flattery will get you everywhere. So, hey, Dad, thank you for being here.
Hey, I'm really glad that I made it and stuff. So, I gotta support you when I can support you. You know how that go, girl.
Yes, and I appreciate it.
And I love you and I appreciate you.
I love you too. Y'all heard it here, y'all. He said he loved me. Y'all heard it. It's all across the globe, right? Thank you, Dad. And hey, Misty, my good friend Misty, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for being here. This conversation is right up your alley. So I'm glad that you're here. Thank you. And my girl, Jacqueline Cox. Hey, girl. Hey. How you
Hey,
doing?
girl, hey.
How you doing, girl?
Girl,
That's
this is
fabulous.
me. I
I
love that
know.
song. Oh
Yes.
my goodness, you see
Yes.
me rocking. Yes, I'm so glad to be
I
in the
love it.
building.
I love the part that says, "This is me. I make no
No
apologies. This is
apologies.
me.
This is
I'm
me.
marching to the beat I
Beat
drum."
of my drum.
I
Yes.
love that. I love that. Hey, Miss Carolyn, how you doing? Okay, she may have stepped away. So today kicks off a series of So What's Your Story? And before we get started, let me introduce myself, or let me reintroduce myself to some, and introduce myself to others. So my name is LaQuita Parks, and I am the CEO and founder of PayProV Publishing. And PayProV means pain, progress, victory, because I believe without pain, there's no progress, and without progress, there can be no victory. So I help people take their stories from a thought to a realization. And I absolutely love that because 100% of everybody living and dead has a story. But here's the thing, the reason why I want to do this segment, and Carolyn said she can't find a phone. Okay, girl. We'll wait for you,
Wow.
darling.
Yeah.
I know I do that all the time though, because I'm like, where's my phone? Where's my phone? I'm in the car. I think I was talking to Jacqueline one day and I was like, I can't find my phone. I can't find my phone. And I'm looking, I'm like, I know I have it because it's talking through the Bluetooth. So I could not find my phone. So that's kind of like your glasses are on your head and looking for your glasses and where your glasses are on your head. So with this, so what's your story? Those of you who know me know that I'm all about the story because there's healing in the story. And I know this to be fact because there has been healing in telling my story and sharing my story. So this year, 2024, is an opportunity for all of us to share our stories, for all of us to take the time and to help those people who might not really know us and give them an opportunity to know the real you. So I'm really blessed to be in this position to be able to work with people every day because I get to know their stories. I get to know their true stories. And especially when they're writing about their lives, I get to see that. I get to kind of walk that journey with them or take a walk down memory lane and understand who this person is. So it gives me great pleasure to be able to help with that. So, with that being said, the topic for this month is loving yourself more in 2024. And I think all of us know how it feels because we all have families. And sometimes, and I'm glad my dad's here because sometimes we put other people before we put ourselves and we put ourselves last. So I'm glad that there's a man in the house to talk on that aspect because I know my dad runs around with his grandchildren and he's doing this and he's doing that. And then, I know he does his golfing thing, but we have to take time for ourselves. And I'm a proponent. I believe that, and I'm glad Misty's here with me. I'm a proponent for that because if we take care of us, then we'll be better equipped to take care of everything else, right? So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And so, Misty, I want you to introduce yourself to us and let everybody know who you are. And then we'll get Jacqueline and Carolyn, if she's found her phone, and then Dad to introduce himself. And then we'll get started.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having me on. This is a very amazing. And that song was, you almost messed me up because I was getting a little bit like wet in the face on accident. So I was like, she's going to mess me up. I'm Misty Lee from Campground TBD Publishing, and I also run a nonprofit called haydensray.org. I also believe in the power of stories. I think stories either need to be, I think all of them need to be written. Some of them are to release because they're not serving us. Some of them are to serve other people, be published, and some of them are put down for legacy. We are the history for our grandchildren, our children. And so I kind of found I had a specialty in helping people get rid of those ones that weren't serving them, and not just get rid of them, but flipping them into one that would serve them. And that's what I do is helping people rewrite a story that has gotten stuck. And that's what we do here at the nonprofit is when people got a really painful story that happened, maybe something travesty happened, we can come here and help them rewrite that story, even in a real life event. So thank you again for having me on, LaQuita. Oh,
I'm
Can't
talking.
hear
I was muted. I can't wait to get there. I'm coming. I'm coming. I
yes.
can't wait to
Oh,
get
I'm
there.
ready.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. Miss Jacqueline Cox.
Hey,
Hey, girl.
so I'm Jacqueline Cox. I am a three-time best-selling, international best-selling author. I am a global podcaster. The title of my podcast show is Listen Linda, hosted by Jacqueline Cox, streaming on 40 different platforms, 10 different countries. I am a writer, a blogger, a world record holder. Um, I also am a mom, a lupus advocate, a thyroid cancer survivor and advocate, and a wife. I'm also a digital content. I am everything that God want me to be. If I was to say everything that I do, I would have y'all here for the whole show. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to spare y'all. I'm gonna spare y'all. I am an anointed child of God, and I'm just so grateful to be here with Mama Quita and with Misty Lee and Carolyn and Grandpa James in the building and
Go
Mr.
ahead on, girl.
Juan. I'm just glad to be in the building, and I appreciate everybody, and thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Carolyn. Carolyn, you found your phone yet, darling?
Yes, yes, yes. I mean, it's in a black cover. It's black. I mean, everything in my office is black. I mean, so it just blended in. So it
Okay.
is what it is.
Well, you gonna let us see your beautiful face, or we gonna see your beautiful picture?
Well, yeah, let's look at my picture for right now. But
Okay. All right.
yeah,
We'll take it.
I might not scare you too bad. But
We'll take it. We'll take it. Tell us about yourself.
okay, I'm Carolyn Coleman. What am I? I am a daughter, a wife, a mother, a sister, a favorite cousin, a good friend. I am a nurse, been a nurse for over 38 years. I am an adjunct instructor. I'm an author. Number one bestsellers three times, as a co-author on three anthologies that I have appreciated being a part of. And just sometimes and writing my fiction. I have a 5-part series, the Gentry series, that I have out, and I'm working on some more things, and that's what I can tell you. I'm a podcaster. I just do me. Whatever makes me, whatever itch I get, I scratch it. So we just move from there. Okay.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Carolyn. Dad, introduce yourself. She said, whatever itch she gets, she scratch it. Okay. I know that's right.
Well,
Dad,
I
introduce yourself.
I am elated to be in such company. You guys have gone into the next universe in this, and I'm still back here on Earth. My name is James Parks, U.S. Army retired, and of course, this brilliant young lady with the blue that's sitting on with the blues, she just happened to be my daughter. Um, I do so much. I am like a sponge is sucking up every ounce of whatever I can suck up and stuff to try and make things a better place, make this world a better place. Right now, I am the president of the local chapter of the NAACP. A lot of people call me a community activist. I love children. I love seeing them go, get to the next level. I do a lot of capacity work with different agencies. They normally call on me because I normally try to fix it. or get into a position and stuff where I got a voice and stuff to, go call a press conference and talk about the facts of what's going on. And that's me in a nutshell. You can count on me. If I give you my word that I'm going to do something, that's all I have is my word. My daughter has gotten me into all of these different projects and stuff here. I have in the past did a podcast, Keeping It Real with Sergeant Parks, on Let's Do It Radio, and I want to talk about things that are relevant to what's going on. My community and all over the world. We're in so much turmoil, and what I'm trying to do is reach people and trying to not just reach people. I get tired of sitting down in the meeting for the meeting, going to the meeting and the meeting. I want to do something that's going to come out of there with my sleeves rolled up and get out there and then do something to affect some kind of change in people's life, because God knows we need it. This is the most powerful world, powerful country that has ever existed in the universe. And yet we still see things going on that seems like we're a third world country. There's so many different things that are that's happening and stuff that affect everything. So that's the kind of guy that I am. I mean, everybody can make a difference. Dr. King said, everybody can make a difference. Right now, one of the things we're doing every year this year, we're doing a host of MLK programs, and we got this whole valley doing different things in honor of Dr. King's Day, but everything is focused on what we need to be doing here in our own community. Can't do much about the government and Trump and Biden and none of them people. You can't, other than vote. Yeah, vote. But what can you do in your own community? What are you doing in your own community to affect some kind of change and stuff? Like I told you, I like working with kids, with young people. I can just listen to them all day long. Sometime I have to get down the road with them, even though I'm getting so old that don't work no more. But that's James Parks. That's Sergeant James Parks retired, and I am really elated that my daughter, that I had the time and stuff to make this broadcast, because I see people being able to tell their stories. You know what I see? I see if you're able to tell your story, at the end of the day, you're going to be able to influence somebody, okay, to get out there and try to do the right thing, So I'm getting around to it. I still can't write, but I'm catching on. So
You
that's my
have no
story.
arthritis in your hand, so you can write.
Oh my God. That's my daughter, y'all.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dad. Thank you.
I'm not going to stay on the whole program because
I
I got to take
understand.
my grandson to basketball practice.
Okay. See, the topic is loving yourself more in 2024. Before you go, Dad, I do want to ask the question: how is it you do a lot? And everybody on this call, and hey Tracy, everybody on this call, we have an abundance of things that we're doing. We're multitasking. We're doing something for somebody else, and then, oh yeah, did I eat today? So it's a lot, and I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of not eating right like I'm supposed to. So, Dad, with that being said, for you, because you're the only man on here, what do you do for loving yourself more? How do you love yourself more in the midst of being an activist, a community activist, having your grandchildren, having your family, and being the person that's called upon to go into the communities and fix it? How do you take care of yourself? How do you serve you?
Well, my wife is a catalyst behind making sure, that I take my pills. I am a diabetic. I've been able to control my A1C for the last 3 years, being six and under. But what I try to do and stuff is I try and pace myself. My problem is if somebody call me, if you got a song and dance, I'll listen to you and stuff. But you gotta set priorities. You gotta set priorities. And if your health is not good, then guess what? You're going to be limited in what it is that you're able to do. So I try to pace myself. I try and eat as healthy as I can, you know, and do do what you say that you're going to do. I think that's what I like. I don't like to be around people that come up with, oh, this is happening, and then they don't want to do nothing about it and stuff. I spend a lot of time talking to people and stuff that bring their problems to me. Okay, so that's good. I know about it. So what are you gonna do about it? So I just try to stay healthy. I got enough causes and stuff, especially with young kids. If you want to get out and run with them, you just do it. Stay sane and stay sane. Find a group such as this group right here that you guys are sitting with that you can feed on. That's what gets me going. Finding people and stuff that doing what they say that they're gonna do, and then commit and making things different in people's lives. It ain't about me. I'm retired, you know, and I could be going on vacation 3 or 4 times a year, which me and my wife do, but at the end of the day, what are you doing and stuff for somebody else? And I really like it that you guys come together. It seems that you guys have already you're already in each other's corner. That's another thing. You're in each other's corner and you want to see each other do well. So I feed off that. Okay. That keeps me going and stuff. It's hard to sit down with a group of people and everybody has this other distorted thing that they want to do and you don't seem to get anywhere, you know. So I appreciate this group here. I might come visit you guys again and I might get you guys to come visit me too. You never can tell.
Well, I know where to find you. So thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks, Dad. So I want to talk to you, Misty, because you do a live every day. And I don't get a chance to catch it every day. Sometimes I'll catch the replay. And I have since I started, I go to a farm every day. And since I started going to the farm every day, that limits a lot of my social media time because after I get off the farm, I'm just burnt out. So I don't see a lot of stuff until after the fact, sometimes days after the fact. But I caught your live one day and you were talking about things you can do to de-stress. You talked about, you and I have talked, you noticed the red lipstick?
It makes me very happy when I see you with red lipstick on now.
So let me give you guys a brief history about the red lipstick, okay? Lip gloss. So I caught a live that Misty Lee did, and it was something that it was a conversation about makeup. And Missy Lee and I were talking. I was like, I don't wear makeup ever. I don't wear lipstick. I don't wear anything. Just listen, Vaseline, y'all. Vaseline. Vaseline, the original, not petroleum jelly. Vaseline. Okay. That's my makeup. And so Misty Lee and I had a conversation, and Misty Lee shared that conversation you had with me, which caused me to put some red lips on.
Okay, well, the shortest version is about a year or so ago, I realized that the only thing between where I was today and where I want to be is my belief in myself. And if I don't have any doubt, then I'm just simply on my way. So it really was very profound that doubt was the only thing that was kind of the difference between where I was. So as a nod to Gwen Stefani, I was thinking I had a sign that I would have no doubt. So for me, putting lipstick on means I got up in the morning, I washed my face, I brushed my teeth, I took a minute to show up for myself, basically to put the mask on myself, because by now that means I've done my meditation, my prayer, my journaling, I've taken myself and brought myself to the mirror to now paint my lips. So from that day, I've worn, and I live on a farm, I live on a campground. I've worn lipstick. I wear it mowing the yard, feeding the animals, moving hay. It doesn't matter. I wear lipstick every minute, all the time, because it shows me I don't have any doubts. I used to actually get irritated with lipstick on a cup, and now it actually gives me a little bit of an uplifted feeling because it's a reminder. So I just was telling her that that's what I do to show up for myself. And the live is another way. I started that to build my skills of doing social content. There's like 3 people seeing the videos. So I just did it every day and would ask my friend, can you go look at my video and see what you thought? And it just kind of grew and grew and grew. And I was doing them every day. And what I realized is people were connecting with me. So I want to say to you, congratulations for not catching me every day and for going to do something else. That's my ultimate goal, is that we connect in real life. But
Yeah.
what I found was sometimes people were just enjoying me connecting every day and just being real, because not every day was pretty. So when my son passed, I had a moment that I considered not going live. And I thought, you know what? This is life. We all have life. And so if I take off and pretend like life isn't happening, then I'm dampening my story. And my story is I'm authentically who I am every minute, whether I'm at a funeral or at a party. I am who I am. And so I went live. And after that, it changed the game for I think a lot of people that were watching. It gave them the strength to go, okay, I can show up and do a live, because she's just being raw. Then for myself, personally, I rewatch my own lives every day before I take on anyone else's content ever, just to make sure there wasn't a message maybe I was supposed to hear, you know? And so that was a long, big answer, but that's why I wear lipstick every day. I show up for myself every day because it's proof that I did put the mask on.
I I love that. I love that. So okay, let's see, Carolyn, you have to leave. So I just saw a message saying that you have to leave. So Carolyn, how are you loving yourself? What are you doing to love yourself more? 'Cause I know, girl, because you got an itch, and whatever itch you have, you scratch it.
Okay. Believe it or not, my thing is to get back in the gym at the rate I was in the gym prior to COVID. Sure, I can walk the community. Yes, I can go in my garage and do a pound class, but it's something about connecting with other individuals that are doing basically the same thing. Group effort basically helps. Okay, it's an encourager, whether you know the person standing beside you or not. So I have gone from 5 days a week to 2. So now I got to beef it back up. But at the same time, I was still exercising about 2 hours a day. And 2 hours sounds like a lot, but it didn't feel like a lot. But it was my routine for several years, I think from 12 until the pandemic. And if I wasn't in the gym, I was walking with some friends. So, and not necessarily, I mean, walking is a benefit. Line dancing is a benefit. All of it is a benefit. And I was just doing it really for mental health. That makes sense. Because it's a stress buster. It's a stress buster as well. I like what Ellen said about the lipstick. I hope I got her name correct.
Misty
Because
Lee.
when the pandemic was here, and I'm sorry, Misty, I'm sorry, but when the pandemic was here, someone saw my mask. I guess they saw the corner of my mask, and they were like, "Do you have on are you wearing lipstick?" And I went, "Well, yeah. Am I not supposed to?" It's just gonna move off. I said, "But it makes me feel better. It's mine, and I can do that. Okay, it gives me a little bit of color. I'm not letting the pandemic rob everything that I have, because it changed all of our lives. So yes, I wore my lipstick, because I'm more of a lipstick girl and an eyeliner girl. So I'm getting back to that. So yes, I wore my lipstick under my mask. No one had to know but me, and it was fine. It was absolutely fine, because all you could see was really literally the whites of our eyes for a very long. But the writing is cathartic, so I want to continue to do that. I may not get back to 2 hours a day at the gym, but if I do an hour, I'm okay. I'm okay. But I need to get the days up, my 5 days a week. And I didn't care if it was a pretty day, Sunday after church. If I fell short 4 days, I didn't beat myself up. Hey, there's another day. There's another day coming.
I love that.
So
I love that.
thank you.
I love it. So, Jacqueline, how are you loving yourself? 2024, how is 2024 the game changer for you, kicking it off? We make all these, well, I didn't make any resolutions. Some people make resolutions. Years ago, I used to say, okay, this year I didn't, but I have goals. And some people can call them resolutions if they want to, but for me, it's like, okay, you know what? I want to live life different. And living life different means saying yes to me more and being okay, not even necessarily creating sometimes we have to create these spaces where we have to explain. And so I'm like, okay, you know what? I find myself watching the news or watching something, and I'll start reading and I'll get halfway in it, and then I'll say, I don't care. And then I'll stop. I'll stop. And sometimes I say, these are rich people problems. I don't care. How is this, how is this gonna better my life? And so I've started removing that from my brain space, because I'm like, there are other things that I can be thinking about. And that's one of the ways that I'm like, I'm showing up for me differently for me. And I'm like, Dad, I'm one of those people that's called on, my friends at church, family questions. I'm one of those people. And so I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me be okay with not being over here, because that's for me, because nobody's going to take care of me if I don't take care of me. So Jacqueline, how are you showing up for you, more, loving yourself more in 2024?
Not caring about what anyone thinks about me.
Okay.
I Carolyn, I need you to mute yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I do apologize. I do apologize.
No, I love it though. She said, okay, yes. Look,
And Misty got her pen. She was like writing that down.
look, not caring. We get so caught up in what is somebody gonna think? What are people gonna think? How are they gonna feel? Wanting to just be everything for everybody all the time. And LaQuita, Carolyn, you guys can attest to this. People always reach out to me for any little thing, and I'm the first person to say, I'll do it. What do you need? What do you need done? I'll do it, no problem. And I have learned that a lot of times we are saving people from what God wants to take them through in order them to get to their, what they need to go through. We're saving them from that. And what I mean by that is that a lot of times, all the time, Jeremiah 29:11, all the time, Jeremiah 29:11. And I say that because, for I know the plans I have for you. You don't know them. LaQuita don't know them. Misty Lee don't know them. Carolyn don't know them. Only God knows the plans that He has for you. So the moves that people make, and our loved ones, our friends, our family, our spouses, our partners, our children, our friends, everybody goes through things in life, and everything always works out for the greater good. And so I have a tendency, I'm not even going to say we, but I have always had this tendency where I just wanted to help. I just have to help you. I have to save you. I have to come in and wear that cape and be the one. And I'm learning that I am not always the one. I have to use discernment. I have to fast and pray before I make a decision on, is this what God wants me to do for this person? Or am I taking on too much? Because I overwhelm my own self, and then I get upset that I'm overwhelmed, and then I cause myself a flare, or because I'm taking on so much for everybody. So I've learned to kind of peel back. I've limited my work time. I'm not doing anything past 7 o'clock. So if you're not calling me to talk to me, and as my husband say, give a girl, yes you did, we not talking, because he say that's all I hear on the phone all day is, girl, yes it is, girl, this girl, yes. And he loves that for me, because it used to be, what you're doing now, what's the deadline, what's this, what's that. Well, he was like, it was always work, you were always overworked, and you never smiled. Now I see you laughing, I see you smiling. I'm laying in my bed right now. I had to put the background on so y'all can see it. But I'm laying in the bed right now, Quita, with the massager on, okay, with the thing up, with a Pepsi in the bed, talking to you and talking to Misty Lee. I've learned to say no. I've learned to say, you know what? That happened when I'm over it. Like the Let It Go coach say, letting it go, moving on, and just learning to really say, you know what, while the enemy is down there plotting on my downfall, while they wasting time doing that, I'm moving up the ladder. I want to, like Cat Williams say, before I go to bed at night, look at myself in the mirror and say, you know what, this is it, for today. Did I do everything that I wanted to do, and is God pleased with it? Is God pleased with it? If I can set a goal, and it could be the most impossible goal. I'm 34 years old. I'm a world record holder. My oldest boy, who didn't have a dad, has a wonderful dad now. Is having meetings, doing the Pledge of Allegiance for the mayor. Is signing books at the Martin Luther King award ceremony for the city. He has the key to the city. He's 12, a best-selling author of his own book, you know, and I couldn't do that. We couldn't do that without Pay Pro V Publishing, and we couldn't do that without God. God works through everybody. He worked through my husband. He works through LaQuita. He works through Misty Lee behind the scenes, Carolyn Coleman, Tracy Adams, Kevin Vaughn, Mr. James. Thank you so much for your service. My husband, is in the Army as well. He's a veteran as well. So thank you for your service. God sends us, and he gives us these assignments, but we have to learn discernment and who to give it to and who not to give it to, because people will run up behind you and try to use you for your oil.
Amen.
And once they think the oil is run out, LaQuita, they will flee. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you what God put on my spirit, and my husband confirmed it the other day. People will think they use your oil till they ran it on out, but they have no idea, LaQuita. They have no idea just how much you have in store that God have anointed us with. So when you think you got it all, you only got a morsel of what God has anointed me with. You have no idea what I am capable of. So going into 2024, if you think that me being class of 2024, 40 under 40 for the New York City Journal was it for me, you thought that being on the Forbes Black membership was it for me, being a world record holder was it for me, being the Hoynes Group cover my kids being in all type of magazines and coming out with their own books and you think that was it for the Cox family? Baby, hold your breath and hold on to your britches, because it's gonna be about us, and we're gonna do it gracefully. We're not gonna overwhelm ourselves, and we're gonna have a good time doing it. And that's what I learned to do for me, is more me, less misery.
Okay. And that part. Thank you. Thank you so much. You know what? I love that, because hold on to your britches, okay? I love that because we have to position ourselves to accept what God has for us. We have to. And God will keep giving us stuff when he sees that we're doing what he wants us to do with it. Um, and he'll keep taking us through the lessons when he sees that we haven't learned the lesson yet. We'll keep going through those same things until we learn the lesson. So I like that. I like that. Misty and Tracy, we're gonna get you. Tracy, you gonna show us your beautiful face today, or are you just off the camera? And it's okay if you are. But Misty, I want to ask you, hey girl, make the list,
Hello, I'm
become the
on my
list.
sofa as well. I'm looking, you know how I'm looking after teaching and then tutoring this evening. So
You look
yeah.
fine, darling. You look
Mhm.
fine. Tracy, tell us about yourself, and then I have a question for you, Misty Lee. Tell us about yourself, Tracy.
Um, it's really not much to tell. I'm a
Really?
mother of two girls, 13 and 9, and I'm a teacher, special needs teacher, and I've been educating children for about 24 years. And I enjoy working with kids. I've been asked to take on more leadership roles, but that's just not what I want to do. It's just never what I wanted to do in the world of education. I like working with kids. I like teaching kids. Um, I'm divorced, been divorced for 5 years now, and just really trying to figure out this second, I guess, latter part, second half of my life. Um, what do I do for myself now? I heard some of the other speakers talk about, getting your daily rest and your exercise and things like that. Um, I'm a former athlete, so exercise is like, okay, I can do that, not as much as I used to. I used to run track when I was in college, but um, all those years of running have kind of broken me down in a sense. I'm having my second hip surgery in March,
Hmm.
but I still get out there and walk. I have to move. No matter how much pain I'm in, I have to move. I have to, I bought myself a Pilates bar, and it could be 12 o'clock at night, and I'm in the floor and I'm stretching, and I feel like that's my time. When I go out to walk, the girls are old enough to stay in the house by themselves while I walk the neighborhood, and that's my time. I talk to my siblings, talk to the very small circle of friends that I have. And that's just my time to get out there and walk. And sometimes if I can't um, get to anybody on the phone, I'll just walk and think and meditate, on what I'm going to be doing next. I want to beef up my website for my books. And my purpose for writing one of them is I just want to share my stories. I have so many stories up here and in my journals. And I just, I'm anxious to get them written and published and just share them with people. I always wanted to write. I always have been writing. But last year was my first, no, was that 2023, Miss LaQuita? I think it was January
January.
23 with my first published book, How William Got His Wings. And that's not my first book, but that was the first one that God said that I needed to publish. and it was about one of my students. He passed away of brain cancer 2 weeks before my mom. And it's a beautiful story, and the books are still selling. I haven't reached #1 yet or bestseller yet, but that's coming. That's coming down the chute. Um, I'm going to say this, and then we can turn it over to somebody else. The one thing that I know that I have to, that I'm actually practicing doing for 2024 is stop comparing my level of success with other people. Um, I've always done that. Like, I should be here. I should be, here financially. I should be here, health wise, or, with my career. I should be retiring now. When I see other teachers that started out, when I did, or a few years before me, I'm like, gosh, I wish I was retiring in a few years. But, you know, um, like Miss Jacqueline said, God knows the plans. We don't even know the plans for ourselves. God knows the plans. People used to say all the time, you shouldn't make any plans. You shouldn't make any plans because God already knows the plans. He knows the plans, and He doesn't have a problem with us making the plans. We need to commit those plans to Him. I think it's Proverbs 3:16 that I've stood on, oh gosh, for almost 10 years now. Commit your plans to the Lord that they may be established. And what I took from it is that God don't have a problem with us making plans, but run it by Him, the Creator, who's going to help you carry out those plans so that they can be established and be successful.
I love it. I love it. And you did, Misty Lee, did you hear her when she started out and said, there's not much to tell? Did you hear
Yeah.
her? Did you
And I know
hear
who
her?
she is. So I was like, really? Well, let me tell you a little bit about her because I know she's phenomenal.
Exactly. I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute. You're talking about you don't have much to tell. You always have much to tell. I love that. I love what you said, Tracy, about not comparing your success to other people, because especially in the world of social media, in the world, period, it will have you feeling like a failure. And
Yeah,
because you can only see what you see on the screen, you don't know what people's homes look like. You don't know what they're doing there. It's a facade. A lot of times it's a facade. And so you don't measure that. That's not how you measure success. My son said something to me that was just the most beautiful thing that your child can say to you. He said to me, he said, Mama, if you never, and this was probably after I'd published maybe 10 books, maybe 20 books. He said, Mama, if you never publish another book, you're already successful. If you never do another thing, you're already successful. And that's huge. I remember I worked for the Kroger company for a while, and they used to say, oh, the CEO is coming or this. And I'm like, I'm a CEO. I'm a CEO, and I don't get turned around for things like that because I know how hard I work. And I know the difference that I've made in people's lives. And I'm sitting here, Jacqueline Cox is a best-selling author. Carolyn, best-selling author. Misty Lee, I don't even know how many times best-selling author. Because of Misty Lee, I'm a best-selling author too. Because of all of these people, Tracy, every person on this call has allowed me to help them tell their story. And I'm totally honored, totally honored. And I'm humbled by that. So I see everything everybody's doing. And sometimes I'm like, I can do that. And sometimes I'll click on their links and I'll get disinterested just that quick, because just because somebody is doing it does not mean it's for me. So we have to, so that's one of the ways I'm showing up for 2024. What's for me, it's for me. And you guys might be doing some amazing things. And I say that to my dad all the time. I know we had a conversation before, and he was like, you should do this. And I was like, I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do. And I am very, very clear. And I've said that to you, Jacqueline, and I'm very, very clear on what I want to do. I'm very
No,
clear on that.
I was going to say that I've had people tell me that and literally shun me because I don't want to do what they think that I should
Should
do
be
with
doing.
my platform. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? I don't want to be a social media influencer. I don't want to be an ambassador. That's not what God called me
Exactly.
to
That's
do.
not what I want to
And
do.
I remember before I started the podcast, before I did digital content, you remember the conversation that I had with you, Quita, when I first linked up with you guys, and I was like, well, I don't know what I'm good at. I don't have anything to offer. And you were like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? And I was like, I'm not good at nothing. I don't know what I'm good at. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And it took for you and a few other people to be like, girl, you so talented, you got all this stuff going on. And I'm just like, but what do I have? And it took for me to lot less lip, lot more ears. Be quiet, listen, and let God bring it to you.
Mhm.
And yeah, so that's what I was saying. People want so bad to tell you, oh, you got this platform, you should be doing boom, 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 or you should let me do this for you. You can't do nothing for me that God can't do for me.
Absolutely, absolutely. I agree. Misty Lee, when we were talking one day, and I remember on one of your lives, you go through a process, and you walk people through. Good night, Carolyn. Thank you for being here, darling. You walk people through telling their stories, and you do it, and I say you do it in a unique kind of way. Share some of the processes with us. And I'll say this, Misty Lee is a publisher. She owns a publishing company, and I'm a publisher. I own a publishing company, and she and I have worked together on multiple projects. And I say that to say there is no competition, because sometimes people think, oh, she's doing what I do. And and when I first started, I think I shared this with you, Misty Lee. When I first started, I had somebody to tell me, because I was just trying to, and how do you do this, or how do you do this? And I just had somebody say, oh, I can't, you can't be a part of this, or I can't help you with this because you do what I'm doing. And I'm like, really? We're competitors, and we do the same thing. And I don't think like that. There are so many people who are publishers, but when you look at the whole scope, we don't all do the exact same thing. And everybody is not going to want to publish with me. And I'm okay with that, because I don't want to work with everybody. I'm not, I don't want to work with everybody either. So it's okay. Gatekeepers, exactly. So Misty Lee, walk us through your process and what you do. And I think it's amazing.
Well, thank you. First, I want to offer two things before I say what I think people should do, because what Tracy and Jacqueline are just saying. Someone told me this saying, so I want to be careful how I articulate it. I don't want to ever should all over myself, and I don't want other people to should all over me. So that, like, if you think of that, being careful with my language, but that sentence is how I think of when other people tell me what I should be doing. So take what I say with a grain of salt, but it works magic in my world. I ask people just for a moment to suspend reality, knowing exactly what is bothering you in your life. Imagine that for 1 minute, God has already answered every single problem that you can perceive in your way, and then begin the story the next day. Skip over how we got there and just get to the happy place first. That's one way we can do it. And the second one that's really powerful, sometimes we get repeat lessons because we're just lost. We just forgot to open the other door. We just keep going back to door number one, door number one, door number two is right over here, and we just haven't opened it yet. So what I do to ensure that I'll be ready to see other doors available, let's say that Jacqueline and I had a call today and it really didn't go well. And she was kind of angry with me at the end, and she unfriended me. Instead of spending time and look, she's like, I will too. That's like, so instead of spending time and then getting on the phone and calling LaQuita and ask, oh, I'm so upset about this, and then spending time crying about it, what I write is I simply say, I'm so glad that Jacqueline and I sorted all that out. We had a beautiful lunch today. the scope between that moment and the next moment is irrelevant. My heart is cleared with her. I can feel gratitude towards her. Even if she never speaks to me again, we left on a place where I'm uplifted in gratitude. That helps me then, where I'll lead with this on the loving yourself for 2024. This is what I'm doing for women, we're going to recreate our own Valentine's Day this year. Some of us get lost because we have no idea what we would have wanted in that situation. So as a single person, I could say I want someone to take me on a proper date, but if I can't tell you what that means, I don't know how to recognize that door. So I begin to write, where would they take me? How would it look? And if that's reasonable, am I even ready to receive that gift? So if I want God to bring me a man who has a fine job and can take me out in a nice vehicle to a nice restaurant, am I the kind of woman he would want to take? Does he feel comfortable taking me in public? Is he sure that his reputation is not in jeopardy because of how I carry myself? I just stay ready. And like she said, make the list, become the list. I write exactly the life I want, and then I begin to stitch it closer and closer to what I am today till I build my goals, my resolutions, and my constant life. So that's what I call quantum writing. And if you get stuck in something and you say, that won't work for me, Misty, because reach out to me. I can help you rewrite that story really quickly. It's the hardest gap to allow yourself to suspend your pain and imagine past it. The pain is still there when you need it, and that's okay. I lost my son, as you guys know. I lost my child, so I had to, I'm going to brag just a little bit. I had a book come out today, and it was the first time I have written into my future without my son. So it was a hard book for me to write, because I've always written into our future that my partner was able to care for my son with me. So I had to really dare myself to write it, and I didn't want to. My human didn't want to, but I know that I'm not in charge of this whole planet. So I just chose to write the story in trust that there's a way for me to get there. And I have no doubt, and I wear lipstick every day to prove it. So there we go. That's the long version of how I write my journals every single day.
I love that. I really do. I love that because it's the whole scope of it. Write the vision, make it plain. Write the vision,
Yeah.
make it plain. Write the list, become the list. Write the vision, make it plain. And quantum writing, write the vision, write what you envision yourself. Because if you ask me what I want and I can't tell you what I want, then you can't give me what you think I need. Because
Right.
if I'm telling you, if you're asking and it's not coming together, then that's going to give you the authority to give me what you need, because I can't tell you what it is I need or what it is I want. So you're going to make up in your head, okay, I'll say, okay, so this is what she wants. And then I'm not going to be happy because that's not what I want, but I don't know what it is I want. So writing the vision, and I love that process, because it helps get whatever is going on out of here, and then you're able to grow from it. Because what happens is a lot of the times we can't love ourselves more because we don't even know how to love ourselves a little bit.
Right. Right. And if I don't want to say it wrong, but it's Habakkuk 2:2, and it says,
Yes.
write the vision and make it plain.
Absolutely.
So plain that he who runs to it, like it's so clear, you cannot miss your door.
Absolutely.
You cannot miss it, but you got to know, you got to make it plain. You can't just say, I need a good looking man. Okay. That's not very clear. You need to you got to be clear on it. And then when you see it, it's just like, oh, that one. That's exactly when I met you, I just saw your energy. I'm like, oh yeah, that we have collaborated so well together because our energy just saw each other. I didn't have to sort through you and go, because you just have shown up every day in the same energy. And I could go on, but yeah, that just make it plain, write it down and get clear on it. And the more you write it down, the less power it has over you up here.
Absolutely. And then you don't care for real. I've probably told a million people that I work with you, and I was like, oh my, I told you that. Did I not tell you that, Jacqueline? I was like, oh my gosh, I just worked with Misty Lee, and it was just such a pleasure. I was like, it was just such a pleasure. And I truly mean that, because it was like a breath of fresh air, because you said it, you did it. You were who you are. You were who you, and I like that. I like knowing that people are who they are. And that works for me because I'm the same person. I'm the same person. The same person that my children know. I'm the same person, and they'll tell you she's the same. People who've known me for years know that I'm the same. So I like that. What my dad said was true, because I'd be like, Dad, now really? Okay. I'm like, hey, I don't want to do that. He's like, oh, you should think about it. You should. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm not like my sister Kim, who's also my editor. I'm not like her, because she'll and my daughter, my oldest daughter, I'll say, Shantae, do you want to? She'll say, no, I don't want to do that. No conversation. No, she does not feel the need to explain. She's not going. For me, I'm like, well, let me tell you why I think, Missy, I was like, let me explain it. No, you don't have to explain that. No, you don't have to say that. And I was like, okay. And so why is it that I feel the need to explain? And it's learning more. And so for 2024, I want to challenge everybody to love yourself more. And if loving yourself more means disconnecting from those things that don't feed your good energy, then it's okay to say bye. You don't have to have a ritual. You don't have to write you don't have to write a Dear John letter. You just say bye and just remove yourself from it. And it's okay. It is okay. And you don't owe anybody any explanation, because your peace is more important. And so here's the thing too, when we're doing things and we're out of alignment with where God wants us to be because of our attitude, and our attitude is because of somebody else or something else, people, person, place, thing, then God is not connecting with us. So we have to be in alignment with that, and we have to be operating in such a way that he knows we're hearing him, or we're going to keep on hitting that same wall. We're not going to be able to notice that, oh, this is the door that I'm supposed to go through. Well, why am I right here at the door, but I keep hitting my head on this wall because I haven't even taken the time to open the door? And that's loving myself more in 2024. So I want to, Misty Lee, and I want you to talk about your book, and where can people find the book?
It's on Amazon today. It's called I Pack Light, A Life Unencumbered. And it's simply, I came home from a trip after my son passed, and the first thing I wrote in my journal was, I'm never leaving my house again. It was just a really upsetting trip and traumatic for me. And I knew that that wasn't a story I could let my spirit go to sleep with, because I was really upset. And so I wrote, that can't be true. What do I need? And I just started having conversation with myself. And I Pack Light is a kind of a love story I wrote of how I could see myself working through something, and how I would want my partner to help me when I'm grieving and get through the limitations that I can't date until I get over my son's passing. I'm not going to get over him. So I just went ahead and wrote in how he understands who I need at the moment, instead of waiting until I could have written, no one's going to want to date me if I'm crying in the middle of the day. No, I just wrote it right into the story, how he understands how to read me, so that my heart is on the right frequency. And like you said, that way I'm ready to receive. Because if I'm over here complaining, I'm not ready to receive the right frequency that I'm looking for. So I'm excited about it. I'll do my official launch in the morning, but it is available tonight on Amazon. I Pack Light. And that, for the answer, LaQuita, was my 30th book.
Whoa, whoa. And listen, if you guys, and if you're listening to the replay, and if you're listening live, if you guys want more of that, I'm telling you guys are the first to hear. I'll be 55 this year. I know I look good for 55. Okay. I know. I already know. So October, for my birthday, I am planning a writing retreat, and Misty Lee is going to lead that writing retreat. So if you guys want to join, we're going to take a trip to the campground, and we're going to do a weekend writing retreat for LaQuita's. We're calling it LaQuita's birthday retreat, or LaQuita's writing retreat. Something like that.
It's birthday. You know, it's going to be about the birthday.
It's going to be about
there has to be cake. That's a requirement.
Yes, definitely will be cake. So, but it's going to be it's going to be fun. And so for my friends who are out there, and my friends at home who know how I do birthdays LaQuita style. So I always do something really, really fun and interesting, like LaQuita's birthday shenanigans or something like that. So this year for my 55th birthday, I'm going to do a retreat, a writing retreat, and I'm so excited. I can't wait. So I'll see you twice this year. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, somebody said. I'm so excited. So Jacqueline, you have a book that's been on the Amazon bestseller list for quite a while now. So tell everybody about your book and how they can get your book too.
Bam. You can't see it because it's already there. Okay. So this book, published by PayPro V Publishing, as all of my whole family's repertoire, is available on Amazon for $9.99, or you can get a signed copy from me through either my website or just Cash App or Zelle me. You all are already on my Facebook. For people who are on the replay, you can find me on Facebook at Jacqueline Cox. Today is day 107 for it being on the top 5 new releases. 96 days at #1 best-selling author. And the rest of the days I've been top 5. So today I'm number 4. Yesterday I was number 4. I have not been number 5 yet. And it keeps going. The book trailer that I made for it has been on Hulu now for 2 months. Just the ad is just rolling on it. I've had a few people reach out to me about making it a movie. So we'll go into that later on. You can catch me talking more about it on my podcast on the 26th of this month. Listen, Linda, hosted by Jacqueline Cox. But I'm also very, very excited about this new venture that I've started on Pocket FM. I have a audio series there, and the story is called A Chi-Town Love Story.
Okay.
And it's an audio series. And I won't go deep into detail, but I will tell you that it is fire. It is a romance thriller. It's a romance thriller. It's something new for me. My book is a memoir about my life, the journey I've been through, things I've overcome with domestic violence and neglect, homelessness, and how I went through those things and have be able to establish so much success and just break every chain and every barrier in my life. And I think this is giving it a little different spin of what I'm used to writing with this romance thriller, A Chi-Town Love Story. So check my page. It's pinned at the top of my page. It's called A Chi-Town Love Story. Click on it. Listen to it. You don't have to pick up a book. You don't have, even though we love books, but you don't have to pick it up. You can just listen to it. It's like a song. It got the music playing in the background. It got a nice little lady telling the story, and it goes deep, and it is deep. It is fire. Okay. I got
love
Queenie
it.
busting my door down. Like, what happens next? I can't believe. Like, this is crazy. And it's just like one of those running stories. So just listen in and let me know what y'all think. And thank you, LaQuita, for having me on your platform. I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Tracy, tell us what you got going on. Tracy has a book coming out soon, 2 books coming out soon. Still there, Tracy? Yeah, I'm having my own private summer, so don't mind me. Okay, maybe Tracy stepped away. All
And
right.
I'm over here like trying to not put my hat on until this is over because I'm almost about to shiver and you're having a hot.
Yes, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling it's my own private summer. Well, you know what? It has been, this is just the kickoff to the premiere of So What's Your Story? So every month, there'll be another segment, the second Thursday of every month from 6 to 7. And so we want to know, what's your story? We're going to talk about different topics. There'll be different people to join the conversation. Everybody's welcome. Everybody's invited to join the conversation. But I want to know, so what's your story? And so what I want to leave you with is, as I said in the beginning, everybody has a story. 100% of everybody has a story. And write your story. There's somebody waiting on the other end of your story so they can get healing from their story. And it doesn't matter. My dad said, I don't know what I'm doing, but he's doing it. He has said yes. And you heard him. He said, when he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. So he said yes. And so my dad is 75 years old, and he's going to write his story. I have a client who is 85 years old. She's written her story. She's 85, and this is her first book. So she has written her story, and I'm working on her story to publish her story. So tell your story, share your story. And I don't have to publish everybody's story. There are publishers everywhere, but make sure that you connect with somebody that's not going to exploit you, that's going to help you write your story. I'm telling you, Misty is amazing. She is amazing. She has read my work, and she has given me critique and feedback on my work, and I am open to feedback, and I absolutely love it. I do.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, I'm gonna leave the publishing up to you, LaQuita, and I'm gonna stick to the retreats for a while. So I appreciate that love from you.
Well, I absolutely enjoy helping people take their stories from a thought to a realization. And Tracy has a book coming, the second book. Her first book is How William Met Mommy. I'm sorry, her first book is How William Got His Wings. And the second book is How William Met Mommy. And then she has a book that's coming out about her life as an athlete. So that's going to be amazing. And so I'm so grateful for you guys coming. And for those of you who are out in listening land, write your story. If there's anything I can do to help you take your story from a thought to a realization, reach out to me, send me a message. You can reach me at payprovpublishing.com. I'm on social media. If all else fails, I'm on Instagram. I am on LinkedIn. I am on Facebook. I am on, what's the new? It's not Twitter anymore, y'all. It's called X. Okay, I'm on X too. And so you're muted, Jacqueline. What
You're
were you saying?
on Threads too.
Okay, and I'm on Threads
And
too.
Tracy is back. Tracy is back.
Okay, Tracy, can't wait. I want me and Malia to travel with you. Absolutely. Absolutely. You guys are welcome. And listen, if you are interested in joining me for LaQuita's birthday retreat, please message me. And it's going to be in October. And I'll give you the dates. Let me know. I won't announce everything online, but message me privately if you're interested in the trip, and we can get the plans going. So yes, ma'am.
Mention the anthology.
Okay, yes. And Miss Jacqueline is working on an anthology now too, and it is called The Waiting Room: Surgery for Your Soul. So if you are interested in being a part of Jacqueline's anthology, please message her, and she can give you the details about the, listen, The Waiting Room: Surgery for Your Soul. Wow. Wow. That's going to be pretty deep. It's going to be pretty deep. So message Jacqueline. Listen, there are so many projects that you can be a part of. The one thing that I like about the anthologies and Misty Lee, one of the things is and I learned this from Misty Lee, there are some people who, everybody has a story, but not everybody wants to write a whole book. Sometimes they feel like I don't have enough information for a whole book. So you can be a part of an anthology and get your story told. Have your story told. I am working on a men's only anthology, and it's called Our Journey from Boys to Men, Things We Learned Along the Way. That's the anthology that my dad is working on. My dad is writing for that anthology, and I am so excited to see what his story is. Learn a little bit more about my dad. So, I'm happy to announce Kevin Vaughn is a part of that project as well. I'm telling you, this is going to be an amazing, amazing book to see how these men who are just game changers in their fields, and they've learned a lot. So it's a great opportunity to learn from these men.
Mr. Cox gonna be in it too.
All right, Mr. Cox. All right, Mr.
He don't know it yet, but he gonna know before we
He
turn
knows
the
now. He knows now. And Tracy is working on my 5 W's as a teacher. And Tracy, I want to say to you, thank you so much for being a teacher for all these years when in a field where people are leaving. Teachers are leaving. They're leaving. They don't want to teach because the things
Yes,
have changed. Children are not behaving. Parents are not supporting. It's a mess. It's a mess. I
it
worked in education
is.
for 7 years, and it's a mess. I'm sorry, you can't pay me enough. And I love children, so I like to do it from the standpoint as a mentor. But Tracy, there are not a lot of people like you who are still in there. You talking about veterans going to war and teachers being underpaid and athletes making more than teachers, and teachers are shaping our future and they don't make enough money. They
Can
don't.
I say something real quick, Miss
Absolutely.
LaQuita,
Absolutely.
just to piggyback on what you said about teaching? I initially did not want to become a teacher when I first went to college. I was a dual degree engineering and math student. And believe it or not, my academic advisor throughout the whole time while I was at Morris Brown, Tracy, I think you need to teach. My mama, bless her soul, I think you should take some education courses. I said, no, ma'am. If I do that, you're going to have to keep bail money on post. But I mean, I guess they heard from God because here I am, 24 years. But you're absolutely correct. Teachers are leaving left and right. And I taught in Georgia, um, you know, 18 years, and I'm in Alabama now. I taught in Vegas, and it's everywhere, everywhere. Teachers are throwing in the towel, because of how we're treated and how we're underappreciated. And, you have parents now, remember when we were kids, it was a stigma to, for your child to be in special needs. You didn't want your child to be labeled as special needs.
Mhm.
My caseload is almost at 50
Wow.
because you've got parents coming left and right. How can my child get an IEP? Not understanding the process of it, not understanding that, once your child is in the special ed program, when they graduate and from the 12th grade, they're not going to get a regular high school diploma. They're going to have a special needs diploma. They don't get that. And, they're just, and we have to do it, by law. Every parent that writes in, calls in, puts it on a sticky note, a napkin. I want my child to have an IEP. We at least have to have that initial meeting. And I just had a meeting this past Tuesday. They closed the schools because of the bad weather here. And I had to, as the caseload manager and, head of the SPED department, I was like, no, this child, he's very aggressive, physically aggressive and everything, and his teacher says, well, when the days and we could get him to settle down and work, he knows the work. So you're going to put him in special ed because he's bad? Really? That's what we're doing now? I got one today, a whole IEP. The parent is saying, my child is struggling in reading. And well, what can I do to get her an IEP? I went to the teacher. The teacher said, this child is making high B's, close to A's in reading for quarter 1 and quarter 2. I'm sorry, ma'am, why do you want your baby in special needs taking the spot from children who really have learning deficits? That's what makes my hair tight.
I think a
Because
lot
then
of
they can,
a lot of it has to do with them thinking, okay, if they'll get some type of supplement from the
oh,
government.
they
So
do, because
if
they'll
they
change
they're
that diagnosis in a minute. You know, if they're just ADHD, they won't get a supplement for that. You know, but if I can get my child labeled as autistic, if I can get a autism diagnosis, then I can get some supplement. Why would you? I see you, Miss Jackie. Why would
And
you
you
do
know,
that?
because it's like, who would really want that? Like, to do it just for that. Like, my son has autism, and I not once went to no social security board or nothing else to try to get anything for that. What I do is I work with my child at home. I've been blessed to work in fields where I've taken training for children with, behavioral problems, and I implement that at home, and I work with my child day in and day out to overcome that. Like, so for people to want that or wish that on their child for their own personal gain, I ask for the mercy on their soul when they go to meet their maker, because to want that, and they don't understand that it's people out here who have children like that and are so stressed. I like, if I could, if I, I pray to God every day that He removes that, you know, from Jaden who has
Mhm.
ADHD, or from Marvis who has autism, and you wouldn't even know, talking to my kids, that they have those things, because I do my best, and my husband do our best to treat them equally. We make sure
Mhm.
that they have their IEPs or whatever, but we make sure that we let them know that that stops them from nothing, because we don't want them to feel like they don't belong. So for people to go and try to put that on their children,
You wouldn't
like,
believe.
what type of world?
You
Like,
would not
that's
believe.
sick.
Yeah, it's sick. And I know, and I see your frustration and I see your tears, but you wouldn't believe. I don't, I hate to even check my email because I know it's going to be, you know, somebody's going to send me another email about, how can I get my child an IEP, not even
That's
knowing
lazy and disgusting.
that, not even knowing the whole process, my whole, and I'm going to let you guys go, but I got my whole fifth grade group. I have one fifth grader who I got to say, okay, this baby needs services. But the rest of them fifth graders, I'm like, why are they coming to me? Why are we pulling them out of class? Why are they
Because
in
they
here?
would rather do that than to
and to
sit they
discipline the
with they
discipline of
kids
children.
and discipline the children, or get them or spend time with them, or
Right,
help them with their homework, or do that. So they just want to get them an IEP so they can get their grades on the curve, so they don't have to deal with it. And it's just like, no, that's not what you do. Maybe if you show little Timmy some love, gave him a
right.
hug, redirect that negative energy by focusing on the positive that they do. Gift them for the positive things that they do. That way they'll want to do more positive things. But if we always focus on the negative of what the kid's doing, and they see that that's the attention that they're getting, that's what they're going to gravitate to. So maybe you need to take a parenting class, because
Hmm.
you get what I'm saying? Because if you
Oh,
took a
yeah,
parenting class,
100%.
then you would know. Sit down with your kids and help them with their homework. Show interest in the things that they're interested in. My son changed the instrument every week. It's a different one. If he wants to drum, he like drums. Guess what? We're going to get him a drum set. He want to play the piano. Guess what? He got to play. Guess what? He like the guitar. Guess what he got for Christmas? A guitar. My son want to write a book. Guess what? We got to publish. Then the little one say he want to write a book. Guess what? Quita made it happen. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
they are interested in, they want to do karate. Guess what? Am I lying, Quita?
No.
They do karate. And whatever it is that they are interested in, we pour. And Jaden say want to do a clothing line. We spent $10,000 pouring into his clothing line. Like, these are the things, because he said he wanted to do that, and we want to pour into that.
Right.
Whatever and that is what these parents are not doing. And then people wonder how you get such well-mannered kids. You know why? Because we don't beat them. We don't holler and scream. Well, sometimes I do holler and scream
They'll
sometimes.
take you there
I,
because
Look,
my
y'all,
my
it,
I
mama
it,
will.
had
hey,
to say,
I
wait
hate
a
to
minute now. I couldn't even get that loud.
I hate to bust in here because this is such a good conversation. It sounds like this needs to be a topic for another show.
Yes.
We are out of time. And I really, really, this is really a good time. But I wanted to say, Tracy, keep doing what you're doing because it's making a difference. And it may not seem like it, but it's making a difference in those people who you serve and the parents. But if nobody else sees you, I see you. And I'm not saying that because you're my client, but I see you. I see you. And keep on because your reward is certainly coming. And I know it's not easy. But listen, it has been such a pleasure, such a pleasure. I always say it's been a plump, pleasing pleasure, better than a triple decker peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And listen, reach out to Misty Lee, reach out to Tracy, reach out to Jacqueline. If you guys don't know how to reach out to them, you can reach out to me and I can help you connect with them, but connect with them, purchase their books. Misty Lee's book is on sale today. Jacqueline's book is on sale. Tracy's book is on sale. Reach out to them. You can get Jacqueline's on her website, Tracy's on her website, Misty Lee on her website too, and on Amazon. Okay, however you want to do that. And again, I want to say thank you. Say if you and Tracy said if you know of a teacher that wants to share their 5 W's for teaching, direct them to her because she's going to be working on an anthology also, the 5 W's of teaching. I think that would be amazing. So educators, teachers, reach out because this has been great. So with that being said, we will see you guys next time, same bat time, same bat station. For February's topic is going to be the love of a good story. All right. Thank you. See you guys next time. We are warriors. Thank you.
Gonna drown them out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is look out, 'cause here I come.